It should be starting momentarily.
There we go.
Oh, right. It has started.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If you don't mind turning on your camera, we would love to see your faces. Make sure. And I'll start off with some introduction, then turn it over to Marie. My name is Candace Henry. I serve as the Assistant Director for Bull to Bull Financial Education Program.
Oh, and then my turn. And then I'm Marie Mahovitz. I'm the team administrator for Bull to Bull. We know everybody who's here today, so that's kind of cool.
So what we're going to do is just move forward, and I hope that you all engage in the program. I'll be in the chat area responding to any inquiries or your responses to the activity. And yeah, let's get started.
Ready? Okay. And grabbed something to take notes here because we are going to send out the presentation afterwards. But it'd probably be good to note some stuff down if you find anything helpful.
Now, for this particular workshop, we're asking you that you bring a significant other, your booze, your baes, your best friend, any important relationships that you have, because this session is all about relationships and money. So that's including family. If you have a sibling nearby, this is a great activity. Okay, I see Gigi has her significant other there, her husband, Steady. Hi, Steady. So what we're going to do is just give a brief overview of the financial education program, give you an overview of our team, our services, and then we're going to get started into our activity and share some key takeaways that you should have when considering money and relationships. So Bull to Bull Financial Education Program, as you all know, is a peer-based program created to enhance the financial well-being of USF undergraduate students. We're available on all campuses now. So that includes the St. Pete and Sarasota campus. It is an educational service, so we're here to help increase financial knowledge and prepare and promote financial awareness. We're not offering advisement, so we're not going to tell you what to do, but we're going to give you the tools to make the best decision for yourself. And because it's peer-based, our peers will sometimes offer their own personal experience of their financial choices that they made to help inform your decisions as well. We are among the top U.S. University financial education programs in the country. So we're doing a great job. You have a wonderful service here. The service is a part of your tuition and fees, so definitely take advantage of it. So our services are free and it's confidential for our undergraduate students. We offer one-on-one coaching sessions, group workshops. The workshops will come directly to you in your organization or even your classroom, on campus and virtual events as well. We are a resource to offer greater accountability as you are moving towards your financial goals, and also a sounding board. Maybe you already have a plan that you thought through, but you just want to talk to another party. We're a sounding board for you to bounce those ideas off of. And then also, this is to set the foundation for your financial future. So the decisions that you're making now, as far as tuition, of your scholarships, your student loan, if you decide to borrow student loans, or even starting your building your credit, it's going to have a huge impact on your financial future. So we're here to help you prepare for that. Our peer financial educators, some of them are here today, are working in partnership with you, with the fellow students to help you reach your goal. And they are passionate. They love teaching financial concepts and are very eager to help you work towards your financial future. And there's some of our peers. And we have several different types of coaching sessions, credit, money management, investing. We're not going to tell you what to invest in, but we're going to give you the concepts of investing. And investing actually breaks down into three sections. We have 101 for that beginner experience. You don't have a good idea of some of the concepts of investing. Then 201 is a little bit more advanced, and 301 is even more advanced. We also want to encourage students, international students, to engage in our program and learn some key tips for navigating the financial system in the U.S., paying for college, student loans, exit counseling, also known information about repaying loans in that section. And then we're encouraging students to take advantage of the study abroad program here. And we want to help you save for that so that you borrow if you need to borrow wisely, or borrow, you will borrow wisely, but also save money so that you can engage in the experience fully. And then we have Zero, the loan reduction hero. So he should be famous. You all should know him by now. So this is Zero, the loan reduction hero. He is on a mission to help you reduce your debt to the lowest amount possible. So we know that for a lot of students, taking out student loans is often necessary to close your financial gap. But we're here to help you make smart decisions along the way. And we also want to support you in those smart decisions. So when you engage in our Team Zero, the Reduce Your Debt Challenge, you sign up for a Canvas in our Canvas classroom, and there's a series of modules that you'll complete. When you complete a module, you earn a badge, and that badge is an entry into our $500 scholarship or loan forgiveness. So we're helping you pay off your debt before you or pay on your debt before you even graduate. So $500 going towards your loan forgiveness for that particular semester in which you have won or selected to win the drawing for the funding. So join today. If you're interested, just write it, put it in the chat and let us know.
Eek.
All right. And then finally, we have some events coming up next week. Buying a used car. And actually, I think one of our presenters is here. Lorena will be presenting on buying, and Antonio will be presenting on buying a used car. It's another virtual event. That's on February 17th from 2 to 3 p.m. on Thursday. And then check us out around the campus. So this was a little while ago, but we'll have another event where we're going to just be in a different location, and we'll have some snacks that we'll be passing out, and just encouraging students to get involved in our program and take advantage of the services. So I'll turn it over to Marie at this time.
Yay! Okay, so I'm going to be hosting the activity portion of the presentation today. So this part is just an icebreaker, just a couple questions to kind of get you warmed up, get into the thought process of, okay, money and relationships. How messy can this get? And how can I help it not be so messy? So I want all of you to think about this question. Have you ever, and select everything you've done in the choices below. And if you could put all of your responses in the chat window, that would be wonderful. There's A, B, C, and D.
We're about to get to know each other.
I should probably answer too.
I'm going to answer.
Hmm. Vulnerability. It's key. I knew it, Candace. I knew it.
Which one?
At least A.
At least that was peer pressure. I did not want to do it. Lorena.
Oof.
Knew there was another side.
Parker doesn't brush his teeth. We'll note that down. I'm just kidding.
You were Gigi said she was
Uh,
peer pressured into dine and dash.
Yes, that was in Miami.
wow.
Yeah. My friends left, and so I was like, "Y'all not leaving me with this bill."
Yes. Speedway. Oh, the fun times.
B and D, Lorena. Okay. You know what? But this is honesty hour. This is how this is supposed to go.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, this is just the reality. And I put B, C, and D, and I don't regret it. I've never dined and dashed though, so maybe I have to add that to my bucket list. Who knows? No? Okay. All right, so that was just to warm you up because that's the kind of vulnerability and openness that we're hoping that we can get from everybody during this presentation today. So I'm going to go ahead and go through a couple of just kind of give you some information about why money and relationships is even a topic that we decided to choose. So I'm going to start off with some stats. You may have seen some statistics in relation to money issues as far as relationships goes. Normally you just hear money, relationships, bad. We have a hard time communicating about these things. So how does it really affect us? Money issues are responsible for 22% of divorces, is the current statistic. 70% of married couples fight about money. Obviously, we all define fighting about something differently. However, 70% of married couples note that they consider it fighting about money. And then 36% of people in a relationship are uncomfortable talking about money. That still seems pretty low to me, um, because it could be so many different topics in relation to money. Are we talking about debt repayment? Are we talking about how many credit cards we have? Are we talking about who's paying for dinner? Is it something simple or is it something big? So these are just general statistics. That we thought would be helpful for this conversation, and pretty eye-opening too. So why are couples fighting about money? These are not every single reason why. These are just some of the ones that we pulled together, according to some research that we've done. So number one, financial secrets. Secrets don't make friends. That's what I've always heard. So I highly doubt it makes a marriage. Unfair budget allocations. So where are we putting the money? Are we putting all the money into making your man cave? I don't know. It's an awful reference, but are we putting all the money into giving what you want, or are we putting into money that we want, and the things that we want? Money history differences. I know that these can come up in a lot of different ways. So how each of you were raised. If each of you were able to go to college, what access did you have growing up? Money history makes a big difference. Lack of communication, ding, ding, ding. That's an issue for anything in a marriage. So just talk to each other. That's a big one. Using money to control a significant other, controlling somebody in any way is really can be really manipulative and emotionally taxing. And so adding money on top of that, money helps us get through the world. So if we're taking money in a way to control somebody else, that takes it to a whole other level of, holding them back from access and success in their futures. Can you guys think of any that maybe we missed on this list or that you can think of on your own? You can either unmute yourself or put it in the chat. For me, I added big purchases. I know in previous relationships that I've had, we didn't share finances. However, we would talk about finances, and then all of a sudden, the person that I was with would make this huge purchase out of nowhere after we just were talking about how they were kind of struggling. So it was very confusing for me, and then just a weird topic to try to bring up in a healthy way with that person because they obviously had different spending habits than I did. That's a good one. Candace put vacations in there.
For
What
sure.
Yeah. And what is a vacation? I feel like I've talked to a few people about this. Like a vacation for some people might just be like staying, having a staycation and just staying at home and not doing any work for a while. Maybe it's just going to a hotel down the street or an Airbnb at a city nearby. A vacation could be a huge cruise for somebody else. Okay. Um, All right. Well, Candace, thanks for giving an extra one. That's great. Hopefully those other examples kind of resonated with you guys. I think those are some common ones that a lot of us have heard of. So we'll definitely keep that theme throughout the rest of our questions. So now we are going to talk about, we are going to have some questions for all of us to answer. But to start us off, we're going to think about some examples. So let's think about some couples and some things they might have gone through. All right. I know you can read this for yourself, but just in case, I'm going to read it anyway. So, Michael and Jasmine have been living together for a year and they fight about money weekly. They blame each other for spending money. Jasmine acts like a forensic auditor on the monthly statement, and Michael ignores her complaining and buys what he wants. They're considering breaking up and have come to see you for advice as a last ditch effort to save their relationship. You can unmute yourself or put it in the chat. What do you think are the challenges that they're experiencing? And what are some strategies that they can maybe use to work through this issue? No right or wrong answers, just thinking on it.
Well, I think one of the challenges is that they both have very different ideas of spending. Maybe Jasmine's budget is tighter than Michael's, and yeah, they have to be on the same page about this.
Agreed.
I think compromising is a big thing too. Them sitting down together and after they pay the bills and everything and pay the important stuff, then whatever's left over they can compromise in, if they're sharing an account, I guess.
Right. And if he's just going and buying what he wants, I highly doubt there's a lot of compromise going on in this example.
Yeah, I'd feel as if there was like a lack of respect between them in their relationship. Yeah. And how they're spending the money. She might be overstepping her boundaries by being an auditor, and he might be understepping his boundaries by just not even listening to her. So
I think that's a big one, respect.
I agree, because I wouldn't want someone to be a forensic auditor for my expenses, but at the same time value your opinion enough to find, some balance there.
All right. Well, those are some great feedback. I think that this is a great example of of two people who really operate differently as far as money goes. And sometimes when we talk about money, it can really feel like an attack. So if Jasmine's coming into it, auditing this monthly statement, I'm sure she's looking for reasons like that something is wrong. And so when you back somebody up in a corner, and like Michael's example, not that what he's doing is the right thing, sometimes it can kind of end up with them ignoring it, trying to pretend it doesn't exist, and just moving on the way that they normally live. So this is definitely not the way that we want to be, but this is the reality for some couples. All right, another case study. Maya and Serena have been married for 5 years. They do not have any kids. Maya has called your agency because she has accumulated around $20,000 of credit card debt, and Serena is unaware. That makes me twitch just reading it. The only financial solution available to Maya requires her to be honest with Serena. What are the challenges here, and what are some strategies that they can maybe use to work through this?
Well, they definitely need communication.
Yeah.
Like desperately. Yeah, I think that's like the major thing. What else? I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. Hold on.
I just couldn't imagine being married for that long and keeping that big of a secret from someone. I mean, that is life ruining.
Yeah. My mind goes to how that conversation goes. Like, how does she actually tell Serena that this has happened? And I think about Serena's reaction, because what I'd hope is that Serena could maybe sit and just say, okay, so what are you going to do about it? Or what are we going to do about it?
I would be very mad.
I'm mad just reading it, just imagining it. Oh. And this brings us back to the financial secrets, that number one reason that a lot of couples fight about money. $20,000, I hope, is not the number that normally the financial secret is about. However, there are couples that come together that they may have not even asked the other person if they have credit card debt. And when you think about $20,000, if you combine student loans and credit card debt for an average American person, oftentimes they have pretty close to that number, if they haven't really touched it since graduating from college. So the reality of this happening is possible. So that's why these conversations are important, so that we can avoid it in the future.
I was thinking, like, just to put myself in Maya's shoes, like, what if there was a fear that was created around it and a lot of anxiety that really, or judgment that sort of pushed her into keeping it a secret, and it just grew and grew. So maybe the problem wasn't as big, or the debt wasn't as big as before, but then over time it just grew because of the judgment that Maya might be feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. She might just, and I would be scared. I would be so scared to tell somebody about something this big.
She would probably end up going to counseling.
You'd hope. You hope. Have the counselor tell Serena. Maybe do that.
Yeah, mediator or someone.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully there's a lot of communication that happens in this scenario. Okay, so now we're going to jump into the questions for all of you. We thought about all these other couples, but now we're going to think about us. Let's think about us and our significant others. If you don't have a significant other, think of a good friend. Think of a sibling. Think of an example of when you are with a significant other, what kind of things you might be thinking of. So first question, a couple moves in together. Who should pay the rent? Please put your one answer in the chat.
Maria told you this is gonna happen.
Is Steady okay?
Is he okay? I told him there would be drama.
He is saying, because I said A, and he said, well, no, because what if a person works in McDonald's and another one works in the office, a professional? So he's thinking B. Oh, Lord.
And that's good. I mean, the goal of these questions is you can think hypothetical, like a lot of different scenarios, or you can just think of your own. Like for me, I put B because that's what myself and my partner decided to do. Because at the end of the day, how we split it up in that way where he pays the rent and I pay kind of everything else, it really does work out. But we sat down, did that math, and it works for us. Would anybody like to elaborate on the answer that they put in the chat? I'm seeing a good couple of A's and B's. And Lorena's going to send this to her boyfriend. That's great.
Here we do A.
You do A there, Gigi?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, nice.
It turns out to be almost the same, but yeah.
Yeah, and 50-50 is a great rule of thumb for a lot of things too. But then depending on the couple, what bills do you have? I know I don't have a car payment, but my partner does.
Exactly.
So there's different things there.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
I feel like, especially like rent, because, well, I think in this case they moved in together, so they're both living under that roof. I think doing 50-50 is fair. But like, for example, if one has a car payment, let's say my partner does, and that's only his car, I would say that's his responsibility.
I agree.
Yes. Gigi agrees. If you didn't hear her, she agrees. Yeah, so but those are the, the different pieces. There's so many layers to every relationship. So like this is never going to be a this or that for every single couple. So that's why these kind of, thinking about these things in advance is a great thing to do. All right. We have a good amount of questions. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the next one. All right. Which option would you choose? Please put your answer in the chat. Okay. And this one definitely depends on your financial situation. So, Smart Kazee, are you a fair financial educator? Kazee originally put C, 100% student loan forgiveness, and then she changed it to B because she doesn't want to be taxed on the loans forgiven.
What gave it away that I was a PFP? Well, that was a good job
Just
hiding.
the depth of knowledge. I also chose B. That's just like, I don't know, it's a big expense that pops out and it like makes every month a little harder. Gigi says D for a good cause. Oh, that's nice. So Gigi says B. Nice.
Oh, it was
Candace,
Steady. Steady said D.
Steady
Yeah,
said D.
said D.
And then she said B.
Mhm. Yeah, I was thinking
Steady's
B
advice.
for mortgage. Like if I can have my mortgage paid off like monthly for 5 years.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Parker agrees. Lorena agrees. All right, nice. Well, that's a good spread of answers. I like that. And depending on where I am in life, my answer would probably be a little different. So this is a good one to think about a lot, all the time. All right, big one. You received $1,000 refund check from your financial aid, which includes student loans. All of your on-campus expenses are covered: tuition, fees, housing, meals for the semester, and you also have a student assistant position that pays bi-weekly. Your boo's birthday is coming, They have expressed interest in seeing the new movie and going to Topgolf. What would you do with the refund check? Think of yourself in this position. What is your spending habit? Hmm.
This is hard because I know I should say A as the assistant director, but I would love to splurge on Boo. Or I mean, I should say B, and I would love to do A.
Nice.
That
I do see we have a new attendee. Thank you for joining us. We are in the question round of our presentation. So if you'd like to read this question and answer in the chat, we'd be happy to see your answer. I knew you'd say A, Gigi. I just knew it.
Hey, I mean, it depends, I guess, how much the refund is, but that's not that much. Not asking for too much.
I definitely would say B because I'm a future thinker. And if it's student loans that I don't need because everything else is paid and I'm getting a biweekly paycheck, I'm going to avoid the later on interest that I don't need.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the student loan part, but yes, I agree.
That's our assistant director. All right, nice. Okay. And then we have Kazee with the C. Keep the money, save it for a rainy day. I like it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and hop over to the next question. That was a good one. Good thinking one. All right. Your soulmate lives a long distance from you and got offered a high paying job. Now they want you to quit your low paying dream job to move. Do you?
I'm looking at Gigi's face.
I know. I have to say the right answer.
This one's hard. It's down to you, Gigi and Steady. No pressure. Accurate. Accurate. Okay, that's awesome. So everybody put A and agreed with Gigi's comment, but I also think that this answer means that we're all very adaptable people because yes, it says low paying dream job is what we have now, but we can always find another option wherever we go because we're all wonderful and talented humans that could find something that is wonderful and what we deserve somewhere else. That's what I think. All right, next question. Your boo calls you for a ride. They get in the car and mention they just robbed a bank. What's your next move? Now that I know that Candace has dined and dashed, she might be the one I'm picking up.
Y'all killing me right now.
Your husband's gonna want to know if you're loyal.
Y'all better have a couch for me somewhere.
I have one in my office, Gigi.
And I got the
Yes.
keys right here.
Yes. It's under construction. Am I in a James Bond movie or are we in real life? All right. C for both of us. Oh, Gigi, that sounds so healthy. I feel like you're having a good moment. Okay, B. I put B because the person I'm with right now, I would do that. I would hide him.
You can become an accomplice for real? You don't
For
look good in
Chris,
orange.
for Chris, yeah.
Orange. You don't look good in orange.
He listens to enough of my crime podcasts that he'd probably do it well.
That's what my husband tells me. You won't look good in orange.
Parker doesn't want to get yelled at, but he's going with B, so that's good. You'll be good. We'll let her know. All right. I like these. These are fun. Okay. Choose one. Live to age 100. Oh, Candace, you've asked this from us before. Live to age 100, paycheck to paycheck, or live to age 60, filthy rich. put your money caps on. Okay, we got like half and half. This is good. Does anybody want to share who answered A, why they answered A?
Go ahead.
Well, because I think I'm already pretty much used to living paycheck to paycheck right now. So, you know, I can't get rid of that feeling, you know, if I become
But then
rich.
you live to 100, guaranteed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's if it's guaranteed, you know, I'm hoping that's guaranteed.
Nice.
Yeah, 60 just seems so young. Like,
No.
that just seems so young to me. So I'm like, I want to live to 100. And if I'm okay, I'm okay. Like, everything is fine. I have all the things I need. But yeah, I would like to have a long life.
And if I live to age 100, that's a lot of compound interest that could accumulate in that amount of time. So I could end up filthy rich.
Ooh, I was being greedy. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Gotta manipulate the system. Anybody who answered B want to say why they chose B?
Parker, you can answer. I'm changing to A.
The more money I make, the less I get yelled at. No, I'm kidding.
We need to talk to his girlfriend.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I guess I haven't lived long enough to value, time as much as maybe some other people do. But I feel like maybe number 6 is pretty good. Might get a grandchild or two. So that's where I'm at.
All right. Okay. Last chance for anybody else. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Next question. All right. Faye is broke and needs a roommate ASAP. You're not ready to shack up, but Bay's ex has expressed interest in filling Bay's vacant room. Would you approve? To clarify, this is your partner's ex saying they'll move in.
No way, Jose.
Think about the extra income and they needed a roommate. I'm just trying to go from all perspectives.
Thank you, Parker.
He doesn't want to get yelled at. So, hey, Lorena says. Okay. All right, I'll join the club. A it is.
My boyfriend right now. Hold on.
Do it. All right. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. Let's see. Oh, wait. Aw, I'm sorry to say that was our last question. I feel like it was just getting fun. Okay. All right. It's going to be over to you, Candace. You okay with that? You muted.
Yes, I'm good to go. So we still have some other questions. We're gonna change gear a little bit and just touch on like family relationships. But I want to touch on these pieces. And Marie also has a handout that she's going to be sharing with you all very soon. But remember that most people aren't trying to hurt their partner or their friend or family. They likely have just a different relationship with money and a different understanding of money. So some questions that you want to consider when you are talking to your partner. Ask about their money history. Ask about how their family dealt with money, their experiences with money growing up, their part of the money story could be experiences that has stayed with them for a long time, and it has influenced how they are interacting with money. Um, how did you handle money in previous relationships? That's a great question to ask. How they connected with their partner, previous partner, in relationships, and just generally how do they deal with money or engage with or spend money. Oh, if you can go to the next one.
And I did put the handout, the 10 questions to ask a friend about money. The link is in the chat if you'd like to take that with you after the presentation.
All right. Another activity that you can do so you can continue this exploration of money is start talking about financial goals. So this is if you're in a serious relationship, you're looking for it to grow and become more meaningful. You can start talking about personal financial goals that you have. So I want blank within the next 12 months. What are some goals that you both can share, or it could be just personal goals of your own. You also want to express what's important to you and let them know why it's important to you. Understand your values. And by doing this, my value of blank is being met. So again, as we talked about earlier, communication is key, especially when talking about money. So let's talk about 6 ways to help family slash friends in financial trouble. So as I mentioned, there's all types of relationships. We've been spending a bit of time talking about significant others, partners, but also the relationship that you have with your family. So if you have a family member or a friend that's going through a hard time, there are some ways that you can help address or help them in navigating those difficult situations. And it doesn't necessarily always mean loaning money out. One, you can consider giving money, cash as a gift to your family or friend. Decide what you can afford to give. I've mentioned to a few people who have family members who are asking for money, consider having a bit of a separate savings account, and put a little bit in there. And then if a family or friend reach out and say, hey, I would need to borrow money, you can actually have a allotted amount that you're able to give versus the loaning of money. And then going into it, make a personal loan. If you decide to do the loan, write out the terms and sign, make an agreement and sign it. Include both signatures in it so that you both have a good understanding of the expectations of it and what are the deadlines for paying off that debt. Create a budget and help create a bill paying system so you can sit down with them. And I know I have several peer financial educators in here, but just sit down with them and help them tackle the issue and serve as their accountability partner. If you're able to provide employment, so say if there's something that you need assistance with, if you have a car and you want to have that car washed, you can say, hey, I'll pay you if you do this. That way they are earning the funding that they are looking to receive. Give non-cash financial assistance, so consider doing gift cards as a resource, and then also connect them with resources like assistance. There's other, if someone continues to have some financial challenges, consider pointing them in direction to receive additional aid, such as accessing SNAP benefits or even food pantry to help them navigate. So there's several different ways to tackle that financial challenge that sometimes family and friends are confronted with, and ways that you can support them beyond just loaning the money to that family and friend. So I got some questions for you all.
Surprise, more questions.
All right, so this is dealing with another set of relationships because it will feel a little different. You are in your third year of college and have a part-time job working 20 hours a week. You are managing your budget pretty well and have been able to save money each pay period in hopes of buying a car. Your younger sibling calls and asks if you can pay for her prom ticket this May. She has purchased her dress, shoes, and everything else, but needs help covering the cost of the ticket. What would you do? Give her the money, loan the money, tell her no, have her earn the money. Now, granted, I understand that, some people don't have siblings, but think of like a little cousin or just anybody that a younger person that you may mentor or be close to. Yes. Yeah, let's talk about A, because quite a few people have said A. What makes that a little, why did you select A?
She's already gotten purchased the biggest items like the dress, the shoes, and everything else, and she's just asking for the ticket. I'm sure the ticket's not going to cost the total of everything that she's spent already. So I guess it's a reasonable amount, and she's my sister.
Yeah. Anyone else? And Gigi, you made a great point. I presented this before to another set of students, and the dynamic of having that sibling. One student was like, "My sibling can ask for anything, and I'm going to give it to him." In other cases, if it was like a friend or anybody else, they were like, "Oh yeah, it's a lot easier to say no." But because it's a younger sibling, she's like, she can ask for anything and I'm gonna figure out, even if it means, she goes without. So that dynamic there, that emotional tie, which we were talking about earlier with our significant others, that sometimes make it sort of difficult to set some good boundary or healthy boundaries when it comes to finances and in helping your loved ones.
No, I guess it would be different if it's an ongoing situation and they're always asking for money, then we have a problem.
Yeah.
That's a question
I
that's
thought
coming up.
about it as because I'm an only child, so at first I was like no, but then I thought about my partner's younger sister, and if she asked me, um, I can imagine her and I having like a loaning type of thing, and her working that out.
Okay, let's go to the next scenario. And I think this is one that might be very relatable. Every time you go out to eat with your friends, one friend in particular is always short on cash and asks if you can cover him. This has happened about 5 times already, and he has never paid you back. The next time it happens, you say, real life.
I feel like there needs to be like one more choice.
What's D?
Like, maybe talk to them before we order.
Mm-hmm.
And say like, "Hey, did you bring any money?"
Yeah, I agree.
Or before we maybe while we're making plans, like, "Hey, can you bring your wallet?"
Like a conversation needs to take place because this has been happening several times. So it sounds like a conversation definitely needs to take place prior to going out. All right, so several people selected B, just no. So what do you do after you say no? Like you're already there. What happens next?
You explain to them and tell them you're tired of covering them and ask another friend if they could do it, or she won't eat. I'm sorry.
Oh, so this is the confrontation.
I'd give them my Venmo.
Mm.
This has happened to me before. And have you guys heard of Splitwise? So whenever that happens, I just put it on Splitwise so that if not now, the person can still pay me back later. Yeah.
Oh, is that something that you could maybe put a link to in the chat? We'd love to look it look it
Sure.
up.
Splitwise is amazing, especially if you live with roommates and things like that. And there's a version of Splitwise just for restaurants, so it's pretty amazing.
Oh, nice. I've seen that feature on like Uber and Lyft where you can split the cost of those and send it to somebody else, but I never knew that it was for other things too. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing.
I'd tell them to roll up their sleeves. I can't even lie. Gotta go in the back. Gotta get those dishes clean.
Wash them dishes.
You sound like my dad.
That's exactly where I get it from. That's what he says.
That's great.
Wash those dishes. All right. I think that's the last question.
It is, yes, ma'am. May I move on?
All right. Thank you guys for engaging. I'm going to turn it over to Marie to wrap us up.
Okay. Yes, thank you to all of you. I know we had a tiny group today, but you were all super active and involved in the conversation, and that makes it feel like a huge group all at the same time. So it wouldn't have been this successful without all of you. So some key takeaways: communicate. I think about SpongeBob when he says friendship. So think of communicate if you think of this. And so have regular money check-ins with your significant other or your family member or your friends. Whoever those key people are in your life that money is involved, everyone, try to have, check-ins with them. The handout that has 10 questions to ask your friend about money, the link is in the chat. I highly recommend downloading that. That is from a researcher who actually does a series on TED Talks all about the psychology of money. And so it has some really great questions to help you kind of dig into what might be kind of holding you guys back as far as financially in your relationship. Being open and honest about money with your significant other, that is the best rule of thumb. And then treat loans to friends and family as business and keep all of your emotions out of it. As Candace kept saying, the relationship and the emotions that come with each of those types of relationships they can pull on your heartstrings. But money is facts. The money, when the money is gone, the money is gone. And so that's how you have to treat it. It is a business transaction, even if it was even if it's with someone you love. And just to finish it off, this is some of our contact info. If you're not already in our Bulls Connect, here is the QR code to join us. If you added yourself to this event, you'll be getting an email from us after this session, all about our program, and you'll see a survey in there asking you some questions following up on this topic. Please follow us on our social media accounts, and you can access our website to book a one-on-one session about related topics on financial education moving forward. And the email, I said the email is going to be coming out. If you could fill that survey out, all of your responses are 100% confidential. If you'd like a version of this presentation, or if you'd like if you'd like the PDF version of that document, I'm like spilling over my words, you can always email us and we can send that over to you. And if anybody doesn't have any questions, we're going to go ahead and close out the session for tonight. Thank you all again for coming.
Thank you for having us. You guys were amazing.
Thanks, Gigi.
Bye,
I
everyone.
enjoyed their responses. They were very funny.
Yeah, and thanks to Steady for coming. That was some great feedback from him.
Okay, I'll let him know he's on the phone with his mom.
And to treat you like a queen.
Be
Yeah.
sure to share these
If
questions.
he's gonna move me to another state, yeah, he has to treat me like a queen.
Be sure to share these questions with your significant other.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right, y'all have a great night. Thank you again.
Bye.